Hi, how's it going there YouTube? It's Viola T, and I'm coming back with another video. Today I've done a review of this in the past. This is the Greenlaw detachable keyboard for the Mini 6. But I wanted to do an actual in-depth review of this keyboard just because there's not a lot of YouTubers out there that give this as much love, but this is by far my favorite portable device I always bring with, or I like to turn this into a mobile netbook style. There's not many good options out there for this wireless keyboard from Greenlaw. On the back side of it, you have nothing. On the front side, just the name itself, and once you open it up, you are greeted with the keyboard itself. You have that rubber textured feel to it. You have the cool. If you like my content, please buy me a coffee. Link in the description. Thank you, and have a good day. And on the back side, on the other side, you have 4 different stoppers. So if it's on a desk, it's not going to go anywhere. But this keyboard, it weighs about the same as the Mini 6, and just the feel of it. This is by far my favorite keyboard. Inside the box, you are given the instruction manual. If you use a keyboard, you know how to do it. So pluck it, follow that to the side, and you don't really need it. Bottom of the keyboard, you are given 4 feet, so you don't have to deal with that. I do like the feel of the back side of it. On the side of it, you have your cutouts for everything. Back side is a hinge. It is probably by far one of the bottom is your cutout for your Type-C charging port and your speakers, the on switch, and then the power, which is also USB Type-C, which there are only a couple keyboards that offer that, so you only need one cable for everything. When you open it up, you do need to have 2 hands just because the hinge is a little bit stiff, but it's not like the snug one. The keyboard, it just feels good. With the case itself, you can tear it off. You have 3 holes for it, which are held in via prongs and magnets. Just the build quality of that itself is top notch. The magnets are sturdy and strong, so they pretty good. Even without them being snapped on, they stick to the case. It's that good of a quality of it. I cannot describe on how many levels or languages just how well built this case is. Even with it just swinging there, you can just tell the level of quality and the strength of magnets just because of that. They snap in place, you can rotate it, you can flip it the other way if that's sort of your thing, but just be assured knowing that your iPad itself will not fall off unlike some of the other cheap Chinese cases. The iPad does not have smart connector, so you have to use Bluetooth, which isn't too bad. You snap the case in, you go from the bottom top, that would be your best option without causing issues to the keyboard or the iPad. Once you snap it into place, you're also given, a nice rubber case, so if you were to drop it, you do have drop protection from that. Just snapping the keyboard in is just easy like that. You just hover on top, line up prongs, and it's literally just that. And on the side of it, you just turn on. It's USB Type-C, one charging solution for all your Apple needs, especially with this. iPhone, AirPods, I'm calling you out. I don't like Lightning. I like USB Type-C. This option does give you that because a lot of the cheaper Chinese ones are still micro USB, which I don't really have that many cables, so I don't like that. I do love the cutouts for this for your volume up and down, your speakers, and especially your power button. Some of the keyboards I've used block that, but this one doesn't. They are raised, they're firm. You have a big thick cutout for your power button, so with Touch ID, you don't have to worry about that. This does have raise awake, which a lot of them don't have, especially keyboard cases, so if you open and close it, it will turn off or turn on depending on your situation, which that's more of a premium feature because a lot of these keyboards lack that, which that should be an industry standard, but it's not. When you open it 120 degrees, it raises up, so your typing experience will be a little bit better instead of it being flat because of the hinge mechanism on the back of it, 2 rubber feet on the back of it, it will raise it. So you are given 120 degrees, which makes your typing experience gradually better. Just like as shown, prongs, the hinge mechanism on the back is just that fluid. It's just that good. I can talk about this all the different ways, but I just feel as if this is the best designed keyboard out. This is number 1 for me. You have the ability to tear off keyboard from the iPad, and this is basically called, I think, 10 phone, so you can switch it. Essentially, you can turn this into a 2-in-1 netbook style computer if that's more of your thing. I don't really have any use for this particularly myself, but if you do, hey, give me a shout out. I give you props. Like I said before, the keyboard, it's a little bit more firm. It's not really mushy. The style of the keyboard is the same layout as all the other ones I reviewed. They're all about the same size just because the keyboard makers themselves don't want to overextend and then make the cases bigger than the actual iPad itself. The keys are a little bit raised above the iPad, which isn't too bad. This is a keyboard I've reviewed a few times in the past. The keys are a little bit mushy. I like to feel these are a little bit more firm, as in if you press them, they don't wiggle on the side so much. They're just a little bit more steady. A bunch of the keyboards I've reviewed in the pads lack this, and it can lead to more of a poor typing experience. The keys are the same size on usually every type keyboard because they use the same cutout, but the keys themselves are not 100% like the one on the right, that keyboard. They're a little bit more mushy, they wiggle a little bit more. Greenlaw itself is more firm, so typing will be a little bit more accurate, fast, which I said. You can pick this off Amazon for about 50 bucks. It goes on sale for a couple dollars off, but just the typing experience, granted, it is a little bit cramped just because you're using such a small form factor, but the experience itself is generally more well. The only thing I don't like about this is if I have a sleeve on my Apple Pencil, it will not charge. It will hold there, but it's pretty loose. I don't really trust that. The first generation cases of these had issues where the top lip would hang off, which they've corrected since then. That is one thing the company itself has taken feedback from the customers is for that. But if you use a sleeve, I'm sorry, it will not register your iPad as charging, but if you take the sleeve off, you have no issues. If you like it naked, it will charge it even with plastic on it, which is good because they've corrected that from the past. It's really good. And even with the plastic in between, it does not fall off whatsoever. It stays on nice, firm, and snug, so you can be rest assured that if you travel with this, it does not go anywhere. But that's a caveat. I've used the sleeve for so long, I don't really recognize the pencil without it. So unfortunately, this might be a heartbreak for a few people, myself included. It doesn't work with that. Even if you have it on, it does not stick on whatsoever. So unfortunately, if I travel with this, I have to take the sleeve off. It's a small minor gripe that I have with this. Besides that, you are given 96 hours of use with this for a single charge. It's USB Type-C. It's a pretty premium build quality in my own opinion. The only downside I can really see with this case is it's not backlit. Besides that, there are a couple options out there with a trackpad. All those experiences have been quite poor because there are always trade-offs with that because the keyboards are small, so the trackpad itself will also be small. So I recommend just bringing a Bluetooth mouse. Logitech makes a bunch of good ones. The one by Apple is kind of hit or miss, but in review for this keyboard itself for about 50 bucks, you're given the hinge mechanism with magnets on the back. The keys are raised. You have 4 rubber feet in the bottom. It has raise awake. It's single cable charging USB Type-C. You can have rest assured it can charge your Apple Pencil too because a lot of the cases, this one won't with the sleeve on it, but besides that and lack of being backlit is the only downside I can really say. So for about 50 bucks, can't have an issue with that. Like always, your YouTube. I'm your host, VLD. Smash that bell, subscribe for upcoming content and reviews for Apple accessories for a variety of different devices. So I'm your host, VLD, signing out.